Okay, now for the Super Eagles, what's happening there? Well, we'll try to talk with Toyin Bitwe, the media officer, to see if the Eagles have arrived, how many players we have in camp, because the deadline for the foreign-based players to arrive is tomorrow. And today, it's just a day before that day to know how many players we have in camp, if they have arrived. Well, right now, it's possible they should be having training section this morning in Abuja. And, of course, later in the day, they will also be having another training session. Remember, they're preparing for the game against Chad on June the 13th, and that game will be played in Kaduna. And they are expected to leave Abuja on the 7th, that is on Sunday, to Kaduna, and then have the final training there before they will play Republic of Chad. Some top players were actually not there. Mikel Obi and all that, we talked about them. And, of course, Stephen Keshi is saying, well, nobody has been frozen out of the team. It's just that he wants all the players to also come in and fight for a shirt. So hopefully after the game, we also have some other players coming in. If Toyin Bitwe can reach us, we'll take him on the program to tell us details of what is happening at the national team camp.
Yeah, we're waiting. Hopefully we can connect with Toyin before the end of the program. But then the Super Eagles really they have no choice, you know, but to win that game against the Chad, because if they start the game with a draw, then a lot of Nigerians won't like that at all. We still remember how they didn't do too well during the qualification for the AFCON 2015. It wasn't a very good one for the country. So I know this time around they know what's at stake, and they've got to start.
Goals.
Yeah, they've got to start with a very convincing win
Victory
over Chad. Chad, come on, they're not the best playing side in the world. So if
you're thinking of Nigeria beating them 8 goals to 0.
No, I'm not going to predict any scoreline. All I'm saying is that the performance and the result has to be a convincing
Beat
one.
them well, like the Nana Primary School will say.
I don't know about that, Cecilia. I don't know about that. But seriously, June is a very pivotal month for the country. It's a lot of football competitions and games going on. We talked about the Flying Eagles already. The Falcons are going to start there as well. The qualification for the AFCON 2017 is starting as well. So it's a very, very pivotal month. No wonder people that were born in June really love sports.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now talk about what we talked about earlier on the headlines. I mean, New York Cosmos will hit the training field in Havana, and for them, it's going to be a historic moment, becoming the first American club side to play in Cuba. Well, for the first time since 1978. Remember, relations have been strained between these two countries, but in December, well, the government decided to, well, come together and forget about the Cold Wars, and for now, so football clubs and sporting events can actually be exchanged between both countries. Let's get to listen to the coach, Giovanni Severese of Cosmos. He says that, well, for him, it's going to be a historic moment. Remember, Pele, that's one of the legends of the game, actually played for that club. And right now, New York Cosmos has one man from Real Madrid, talking about Raul Gonzalez. That's one of their biggest stars. He will be playing in their game tonight against the Cuban national team side.
Very privileged as the New York Cosmos to be here. We feel, privileged that after so many years, we have the chance to come here in Cuba to unite the people through the sport. We know that soccer is growing so much in Cuba, and we hope that it's a great game tomorrow for everybody here to have a great night.
Well, you're happy about that. Okay, now quickly talk about Hamburg. Well, they survive again. Now, that's the only club that have not been relegated from the German Bundesliga.
Yeah, big congratulations to them. I'm sure the fans are very relieved
celebrating
right now, because for a while, for long periods in the season, it really looked like they were going to go down to the second division, but they managed to stay up. So it's a good one for them, but they have to ensure this doesn't repeat itself next time. It's a massive club in Germany, and for them to be waiting to the very last minute, to secure that top flight status.
Second-tier division, Karush.
That's really not good enough. They need to really step the game up next year.
And it was really a dramatic one, because they had to go through sudden death, so to speak, for them to secure that 3-2 on aggregate. Now, the game for last night ended 2-1 in their own favor. And for Karush, well, maybe because second tier, they were actually given a penalty and they missed it, and that would have also helped them to climb to Bundesliga. But as usual, well, Hamburg, who won the German Bundesliga 3 times they are still in the game. They will obviously not be relegated next season because they finish 16th. That's when you're looking at a club like that of such a pedigree, you think they would have finished ahead of that, but to 16th they finished, and at the end of the day they had to go through a playoff for them to survive. Now talking about Chelsea, well, they're training in Sydney in Australia, and they will be playing Sydney FC today. And for Jose Mourinho, he feels, you know, usually if you don't want to concede the goal, you get to park the bus.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Cecilia. But what is interesting is that Cecilia, this is how football is right now. Towards the end of last season, Chelsea really looked tired, right?
Yes.
You could tell from the way they were playing, they were not as expansive as they were before. But so one would have thought after the season ended, they'll be on holidays by now, just relaxing and getting ready for next season. But that's not the case.
You know what the players were doing after winning the title? They were actually going, you know, they go away, you know, relax and come back to England and all that.
Yeah,
we remember Cesc Fabregas who went to France, immediately was red carded and all that, like he planned it. Next day was in France and he came back for the next game.
They've had
so the holiday started
already for them. Yeah, but what I'm saying is now the season is officially over, but they're still on break. They've had to go to Thailand. Right now, they're in Australia getting ready for today's game against Sydney FC. That's how the game is right now. All these clubs now exploit every avenue, every option.
So they need to show those titles to all their fans across the world. And also through there, make money.
Yeah, it's a money-making trip. There's no doubt about it.
Make more money.
It's going to be a very interesting game, no doubt about it. And all the players are there. Jose Mourinho said he's going to field a very strong starting 11.
As usual.
As usual.
What do you expect?
It remains to be seen how that pans out, but I'm looking forward to it, no doubt.
Definitely. And of course, for one man, Azpilicueta, he says that his focus also is on the Champions League. They may have won the league, but come on, it's just the league. But if they can win the Champions League, that will be what he will be proud of. Let's listen to him.
The impression was good. That kind of tours we do to be next to the fans around the world that they cannot be with us the whole year. So we came 3 days to Thailand, 3 days here to Australia. Obviously it's far, but we enjoy the time. We are having our last time together of the season and to share with the fans all the 2 trophies that we won. That is nice, I think, to come here with the trophies. Obviously our target is always to win, and we would like to be there, but this year we couldn't reach it, and we will try harder the next year. But obviously we would like to be this weekend to play the final.
Azpilicueta. First of all, I have to say he's got the best name in football. Azpilicueta.
And he's a Brazilian.
Is it Spaniard?
Is a Spaniard.
Yeah.
Well, the name sounds, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a very good player. Arguably the best left back in the Premier League. And he's a right back, you know, naturally. So it shows you the kind of player he is, very versatile, and that's why Jose Mourinho really likes him, and that's why he plays really good for Spain as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the game, like I said. And one thing we saw in that picture also was Mikel.
Mikel, yes. There's actually this news from the camp of Chelsea that he actually injured Diego Costa while they were training.
Yeah, this thing's happening. Yeah, it was nothing serious. As we saw as well, so Costa is back in training, so it's not a big deal. The media likes to, you know, make a mountain out of a molehill sometimes.
Yeah, they do that a lot. And of course, another news is that Diego Costa might just be leaving Stamford Bridge.
That's another one right there. All he said was it was missing Spain, and it was really hard for him adapting to London, the weather and the language.
Like,
and all
seriously, scoring those goals when he just arrived?
So you can imagine what is going to be like when he's fully adapted to the situation.
So he's going to score like 40 goals.
30,
40. Let's see what's going to happen next season, because I know Jose Mourinho has said that his key players will definitely not believe him.
It's not going anywhere.
At all.
Costa is going to be
at Stamford Bridge next season. Yeah. Okay, so Diego Costa, you're staying. Maybe just missing Spain, or maybe he gets to play for the national team. When he gets to play more, he wouldn't miss so much.
Yeah, but he hasn't had the opportunity to do all that because of his injury problems, and that's what Chelsea are trying to avoid this summer. They want to ensure he's fully fit and ready. They want to ensure his hamstrings are really strong for next season.
Okay, now talking about French Open. Well, day 10, of course, will be today, and the order of play, you will be having Ana Ivanovic facing Elina Svitolina. That's the first game, and it's starting from 1 p.m. Kaini Shikori and Jovi First Songa. This is going to be a huge cracker. And
Yes.
Gabin Muguruza, she will be playing Lucy Safarova. Lucy Safarova ensured that, well, defending champion Maria Sharapova, she will not be in the quarterfinals. And Stan Wawrinka and Roger Federer, the Swiss, two of them will also be in action today. Well,
Yes, that's the big game for me. Stan Wawrinka versus Roger Federer. These two guys are friends, but today, forget about friendship. It's going to be war out there, and obviously, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking Federer's got this one. The head-to-head simply favors him. 16-2. They've met 18 times. Federer has won it 16 times. Stan is just managed to win twice. So very, very hard for Stan Wawrinka to do it again today. But
so you're giving it to Federer?
Yeah, Federer is the favorite, but then I won't be surprised if Wawrinka, does something really impressive and moves on into the semi-finals.
Okay, now the big one will be tomorrow. But today we'll just talk briefly about it, talking
Yes.
about Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic.
Incredible.
Now, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic he has never beaten Rafael Nadal in the French Open.
Yeah, was
10 times and 6 times they've met. 10 times, of course, that Novak Djokovic is trying to see how he can win the French Open.
Yes.
It's always Rafael Nadal who gets to stop him, and he has stopped him 6 times.
Cecilia,
Cecilia,
when you put it that way, you make it look like Djokovic is a bad player.
No, I'm talking about French Open itself.
Yeah, no, I'm going somewhere with that.
Okay.
Cecilia. You make it look like Djokovic can't beat Nadal at the French Open. But who else beating Nadal at the French Open? Just one player, and that player was a fluke as far as I'm
Because
concerned.
he was injured.
Robbie Soderling, that's ages ago. That was the only player that has beaten Rafael Nadal in
and
Paris.
that was the year that Roger Federer got to win it.
Took advantage of it. So what I'm saying is Nadal is impeccable on clay in Paris at the French Open. Is the
Now,
king.
take a look
undoubtedly.
at the build-up to the French Open,
Yes.
all the tournaments before the French Open.
Yeah,
He didn't win any.
I was going to come to that. I was going to come to that now. And I'll just say it now. Obviously, Djokovic has got to be the favorites going into this game based on their forms. And there's a reason why we're having this match so early in the competition. And that's because Nadal has dropped in the rankings to number 7. That's why we have the meeting in the quarterfinals now. So I have to say Djokovic is going in as favorites. But believe me, until someone beats Nadal, I'm not going to go against him. I'm going against the odds today to say I'm still sticking with Nadal.
Nadal is taking it tomorrow.
Yeah, to go into the semis.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being part of the program. Business Money is up next. Don't forget, Sport Tonight is at 9 p.m. Get to join us. We'll talk more on sports. Bye for now.